Hello, folks. I am back with some firearm safety information. As you can tell by the title, there is a recall regarding Kimber's latest line of firearms, and this safety recall is on the Aegis Elite. Anyone, any Aegis Elite that has an optic already installed or that is optic ready, or the KHX, which any KHX that has an optic installed or is optic ready. And the issue is, let's start with the KHX because that's a little easier to explain. The problem is the plate here, not this particular plate, but the replacement plate that you use to install an optic on. They've been having some issues with the optics flying off when they're installed, and this is based on customers making some complaints, so they issued a safety recall on that. I was wondering why I wasn't able to purchase an optic because they were out of stock, and later on Kimber took the optic plate off their website. So that's the reason why. So it, this hood, I've never was able to put an optic on, but they said if the optic is installed, that's what's going to happen because the plate has to come specifically from Kimber. Uh, and that affects every line of the KHXs and as well as this one. Now there is one that's already optic installed, which is has an RMR on it. So they are recalling those also. I'll explain what I mean by recalling. Uh, Now this is a version of the optic installed. They said that there's an issue, something with the plate versus screws shearing off. So that's what Kimber has stated. Moving along, this is in my email. This is what the safety recall they mentioned, and I was on customer service with a guy named Montana. Yes, that's his actual name, and he's a really nice guy, and he explained the procedures for me on this. And that is the plate that you would put your optic on if you have the KHX version. Now they give the part number. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to read it out to you. It's part number 40000750. Then it's 40000753, and also plate number 400754. Now that, like I said, it is regarding the optic plate for the KHX line. And this is for any of these firearms that were manufactured anywhere between January 2018 to May 13th, 2019. And they have a list of serial numbers for all the recall products. And I'm just going to click on this a little quickly. Forgive me if I'm not having the best camera action going on here. Here's the list of serial numbers, and it is a ton of them, as you can see. All of these serial numbers. That's basically all of them. I elected not to try to look for mine. I just basically called customer service. So that's a lot of them. So let me try to get back to the original page. And here are the instructions, what they ask you to do. You could email them, but I rather you call their customer service line. You call them up between the hours of Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The second step is to give them the information on your firearm, and then the main important thing is step 3. Kimber will all you would have to do it with step 3. You would have to send in. I'll tell you the part in a moment that you have to send in. But they will take care of this free of charge. They will send you a label, a shipping label, and all you have to do is pack it up. Now, let me tell you what it is. They only want the slide. That's all you have to send in. You don't have to send in the barrel or anything like that. They want the entire slide because they're going to do some upgrades to the slide and also to probably where the plates go on this one. And the Optic plates for these are not going to be available for some time until they rectify the situation. So they're going to just do the proper upgrades in this section here, and then put this plate, your cover plate, back on. But they have to do some work internally where it will accept the screws or make sure that the screws will be able to have that fit in properly. Now, regarding any of the firearms, whether it's the KHX that's Optic installed or, in my case, the Aegis Elite, they're going to make a slide, make an Optic plate. I think they're already being worked on as we speak. The Optic plate, make sure that they do their upgrades in the internals here, so that you won't have any problems with your RMR or your any other type of optics go flying off. And this was a complaint with a couple of people who own the Optic Ready or Optic installed versions of these firearms. Now, a lot of firearms manufacturers, not just Kimber. I remember when the Glocks came out with their MOS versions, they had optics that were flying off, but particularly the RMR was flying off, and then you had to get a special plate for that and so forth. That's one thing about when you are purchasing a firearm, any firearm that has to have an optic on it, you have to take a lot of things in consideration. You have to take into consideration whether the screws are going to stay in, whether you need Loctite or whether you need something to secure that optic on top and on top of the firearm. So it's just one of those, I would say, necessary evils that you might have to get into, whether you want the optic on or want the optic off. So don't think this is just limited to just Kimber. And if it sounds like I'm sticking up for Kimber, yes, I am. This, like I said, it can happen with any other firearm. I had the FM509 where they said they doesn't require Loctite. I had to Loctite it down because my optic was somewhat moving a little bit under recoil. So just remember, when you have an optic, make sure everything's placed on so nobody gets hurt or anything like that. So that's all I basically have to say. And like I was trying to mention earlier, when you're in the firearms community, we all got to look out for each other, whether it's recalls and so forth. We got to look out for each other. And the other thing I want to address is when you buy a firearm, definitely register that firearm with the company or their warranty registration. Because I've registered all my firearms under the warranty information, you get an email or some type of notification as quick as possible. Some people don't fill out those warranty registrations, and they don't know till much later on. So it behooves you to exactly fill out those registration cards. In closing, for further information, go to either the Kimber website at kimberamerica.com or go to call their customer service number. And I'm going to give the customer service number. It's going to be 888-243-4522. And that's 888-243-4522. And I'm saying this over YouTube because I believe this is a safety issue. It's not trying to promote or sell a product. All right, so that's all I have right now. So happy shooting. Stay safe. Hashtag 2A.